New Millennium Boyz is the new novel by Kazemi. He is a Vancouver-based writer. This is his second book, and I want to thank the Permuted Press for sending me a copy to review. It is a great package that you have here, and I have a lot to say about this book. When you look at the cover, the blurb on the top states, "My favorite millennial provocateur," by none other than Bret Easton Ellis. And when looking at more blurbs in the back of this book, you see comparisons to Larry Clark in a blurb by Ellen Hopkins. So just judging off all of this, and really by a simple Google search, it's pretty apparent that this is controversial to a lot of readers. And I'm surprised that it slipped past me last September, because in some respects this is like the edgy high school novel of my dreams. Whether that's good or bad, it is materialized here. The book starts out in summer of 1999. We follow a teenager named Brad Sella who is going to summer camp with his friends. He meets people, meets a girl. He has this magical time, and he is obsessed with all things media related, specifically music and film. And because of this, we have a cornucopia of references here. And I mean so much. Starting this book off on page 1. This is the summer of 1999. You can't see on the WB. This chorus of a new rap metal track that's been all over the airwaves this month is bouncing in my Discman as I make my way to the back of the bus. I love the glitches in the song's production, the purple tint of the music video. I adjust my headphones, maxing out the volume. Lit plays next. A hunched over dude with blue streaks in his hair wearing a Destroy All Ska Band shirt reads Kerrang with the Deftones on the cover. The headline, The Revenge of the Antiheroes. And when I first read those sentences, I won't lie, I was a little worried. I do see myself as a pop culture enthusiast and enjoy a lot of references on media, but wow, every sentence of this book has a reference to a song or movie of some sort. And on top of that, this is a very guy-coded main character alongside his friends. We have F words and slurs almost every sentence in this book. The book even starts with a note to reader giving a trigger warning of what to expect. And yeah, while reading like the first 50 pages, I got the impression Kazemi wanted to make something true to the time. But with all of this filth and reference after reference, it was just kind of like a fly buzzing in my ear. And I wasn't sure if I was going to continue, but I'm very glad I did, because I had a feeling that this was going to win me over in some way, and it did. No doubt the aesthetic here is excessive, and I wasn't quite sure what he was trying to do with it, but it all kind of feels like a parody. That is until we start kind of learning more about Brad's new friends in school, one named Lucif and another named Shane. Lucif and Shane have been friends for longer, but Brad is really intrigued by the both of them. Lucif is this metalhead who really just likes the sounds of loud music and is all about anarchy. Imagine like the masculine disasters that were showcased on the Woodstock 99 documentary. Shane is the more melancholy type. He loves Smashing Pumpkins, and he has like a rich family, but is clouded by mental health problems that are completely untreated because his best friend is a sociopath. Yet Brad finds Lou's sociopathic tendencies interesting, and they share a lot of the same interests. They both love MTV and watch it all the time. And both Brad and Lou, like a lot of the teenagers I would imagine in 1999, have this inkling for wanting to be famous. Lou stomps, "You guys, I feel like my time is running out. I turned on VH1 yesterday, and one of the hosts was talking about how Bret Easton Ellis wrote Less Than Zero at 17. He skyrocketed to worldwide fame in the 80s by 21. Since when are you a writer? It's not about that. It's about the fame. I just have to discover my stratospheric talent." There's this dangerous but ambitious part to Lucif that attracts Brad and puts our main character in really bad situations. You can't help but to think of movies that could have influenced this book. Movies like The Dune Generation and Bully, but I also thought of like Kevin Smith and the movie 13 especially. Also, the movie The Dirties by Matt Johnson. On a recent note, the movie Dee Dee that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, the way that our main character on that movie is kind of putting his old friends aside to be with these newer, cooler friends is the bulk of what happens on this story here. But I don't want to sell it short because this goes into disturbing and gripping territory. I really couldn't put this book down past page 100, especially the last like 50 pages. Whoa, man, like I had to finish it. I had to see what was going to happen. It's 97 chapters, 326 pages. I appreciate the epic scope of this book. I know this was a effort of love by this author. I would also say, though, that it does feel a bit overridden. It feels like the director's cut of a movie. Like, I'm surprised how much of this book made it on here. How many parts on this book is just the main character listening to music or watching a movie. Also, some character developing moments that don't feel as heavy as others do on this book, but still are good to have there. At the end of the day, I don't think I would make this any shorter than it is, but it all kind of goes back to the style of these sentences. It's not quite what I look for in books. Third Eye Blind is ending as we walk into McDonald's. As I look at the line by the register, a guy with spiked hair and an internet killed the video star, shirt and plaid pajamas, and Docs grabs his order. He puts his headphones on as we make eye contact. Children are staring into the Barbie and Hot Wheels Happy Meal displays as I look across to the entrance of the birthday party room. Like, yeah, I never really quite fell in love with that. I enjoy kind of leaving some things to the abstract, leaving some things for me to think about. But since 90% of this book is dialogue, it really feels cinematic, and at its best, the dialogue kind of paints the setting around more than these descriptions do. This book begins with the enthusiastic jolt of being a teenager and then ends with this sad demise of slowly turning into a young adult. The ending here, I found it interesting. I don't really know if it quite worked for me. It is a swing for sure. It is a pretty bold one. I do recommend this, especially for somebody that is looking for a Bildungsroman, but kind of different, kind of like a period piece of sorts. I think that there is a lot to enjoy on this book. Overall, I would give this a 7.5. New Millennium Boyz was released on September 12th, 2023 by the Permuted Press. It is available in bookstores now. Thank you for watching. I've never done a spoilers bit at the end of a video, but I kind of want to talk about this ending. So, alright, Blink-182 references on this book are extensive. I'm a big fan of that band. I, like Brad, grew up and, especially in high school, would listen to Blink-182 religiously. On this ending, we have Lou getting ready to shoot up the prom, and we have Shane kill himself. We have Brad, who just lost the girl that he likes, and he's about to be exposed in such an insane way. And we have Brad kill himself at the end listening to Adam's song. Now, any big fan of Blink-182 knows kind of just like the chatter behind that really popular song of theirs, specifically from a Columbine high school suicide victim by the name of Greg Barnes, who killed himself while playing Adam's song on repeat. On a dramatic level, I'm not sure if it quite works. We have this young kid playing some sad song in the background, talking to his camera. Doesn't really quite complement some of the cringy things that have happened on the story thus far. Then on the real life level, because obviously any fan that reads this is going to think back on that. I don't know. I find it interesting. Like, I like on fiction whenever real life scenarios are brought up and redone. There's even like that tongue-in-cheek reference where Brad says to the camera, "Oh, I don't want to be one of those guys killing himself to Adam's song." I appreciate Alex not wanting to go to some conventional ending where, I don't know, both Brad and Lou bring a gun into prom and they have a shootout or something. But I don't know. I did kind of leave this with my thoughts feeling a little strange about the ending. And it's interesting. I don't really see too many people who have read this book having a conversation about the parallels between the real life incident and how they decided to end this book. But it was a decision for sure, and I just wanted to address that here. I found it interesting, but I'm also not quite like enamored with the decision. But overall, this is a positive review. I got a lot out of this book, and I want to thank the Permuted Press again. Thank you for watching.